That's the reason why you is my wife and stuff and all. You gotta see her. You gotta come to my house and see her craft. After teaching.
Thank you. Great to call you.
Hey, the thing was funny, huh? The kabuki. I only. But it was common. Well, that was the topic. So now we understand.
Good morning. Happy Boys Day, Happy Children's Day. Today is May the 5th. It's called Boys Day, and now it's now called Children's Day. And yesterday, my children and I were setting up, for the Japanese toys to introduce today. And they were talking to me, oh, I'm afraid we are the only one children. And then I told them, everyone, without exception, should be children. Everyone. Because we are the children of somebody's parent. So, in this sense, today, Children's Day is to celebrate everyone, without exception. I think that's a wonderful day. But I only see small children. So anyway, thank you very much. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Darren Miyashiro. He is a board member and also he's an instructor of the Koto and Kagaku music at University of Hawaii at Manoa. So later we are going to formally introduce him, and please join page 3, Invocation, led by Reverend Takano.
Page 3, Invocation. Under Buddha, the awakened one, the compassionate one, we ask for your guidance on these happy days. Lead us from the numbness of the routine and from all bitterness of the heart to a peaceful place of compassion and wisdom. Grant us the strength and binding consciousness to work together harmoniously in our temple and our community. Help us to always remember that life is one, and therefore that all living things coexist and interconnected, and that you are hit the light of compassion shine upon the earth of everyone. Namaste, namaste, namaste.
Thank you. Page 5, Bandana Tisarana. Page 6, 就活き影。
Sa
spiritual link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of life that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle, sin, and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to sing pure and beautiful songs, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends my happiness or misery. May every link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of life become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Nam Nam Thanks. Thank you. Page 9, 8 podcast. The Buddha teaches us that we may become pure and holy by following the rules he laid down for us. Let us repeat them and also remember at all times what they mean. First, right understanding. Let us learn and try to understand the truth. Second, right purpose. Let us try always to do what is right. Third, right speech. Let us be truthful and kind in all we say. Fourth, right conduct. Let us try to behave ourselves at all times. Fifth, right livelihood. Let us earn our living in a way which will not harm anyone. Sixth, right endeavor. Let us constantly try to become better. Seventh, right thought. Let us cherish our thoughts because our words and our actions arise from our thoughts. Eighth, right meditation. Let us think often of Amida Buddha and repeat the sacred name, Namu Amida. May the sacred presence of Amida, who said he would abide in his teaching, be our guide. May we follow his glorious example and tread with unfaltering steps this noble path until we too shall attain enlightenment. Namu Amida. Namu Amida. Namu Amida. Thank you. Now, page 24, Shoyaku. Please offer incense. merit transference for the deceased. Dedicating merit through the chanting of sutra passages and the calling of Amida Buddha's name is an important practice in Jodoshi. This is a time to offer our prayers to our ancestors and beloved ones, as well as to remember them with gratitude for all they have done for us. May we aspire to lead fruitful, peaceful lives while sending our thoughts to those who are not with us in this world. Let us now offer our prayers so that everyone be released from suffering and be born into Amida Buddha's pure life of ultimate bliss. In celebration of Children's Day today, may all beings be happy and strong. May all beings be happy and strong. May all beings be happy and strong. And also our prayers to those who passed away in wars, in accidents, and in natural disasters. And also to our ancestors of Jodo Mission members and friends. 永代教プレイヤー
新人の接種や法師へより1958年の往生にあるしの俗名水戸貞一巡業停心天上門の霊前増上五代までがは水戸家先祖代々の奨励追前増上五代までが新人の接種は牧の道へより1983年の往生人ありし日の俗名牧の追徳院商用上演平等大師の霊追前増上でまでが来るは牧の並びに岡村家両期潜在大戦も奨励追前増上でまでが来る新人の寿司は国民政子より2005年の往生にありし日の俗名国民森田法要体育新の霊追前増上でまでが来るは新人の寿司は岡本家1983年の往生にありし日の大関の大牧の道へ随徳に商用上演平等大師の霊追前増上五代までが来るは新人の寿司はさすがよりより2017年の往生にありしの大関のさすが見どこ需要正月4年新年の霊水前増上でまでが来るは東山大神と各家潜在で戦後奨励追前増上でまでが来るは本日三景の面々その後正月大神如来大師愛民5年元にし不六Dedication of the merit for Soe Koge. We aspire for this merit and virtue to be equally bestowed upon all, and reiterated with the aspiration for the enlightenment to achieve us in the care of peace and bliss. 10 times distinction of the merit. 老少知念ナムアミダ And the builder surround all man and all forms of life with unique love and compassion. Particularly, as he sent forth loving soul to those in suffering and sorrow, to those in doubt and ignorance, to those who are striving to attain truth, and to those who feel are standing close to the great change for them. Amida Buddha sent forth ocean of wisdom, mercy, and love. Namaste. Namaste.
Okay, once again, thank you very much for coming to our special service today at this week. Mr. Kami Miyashiro is a instructor in war, and also he teaches at the Kosen Ishikawa in Kyoto Music and also Naga. And in fact, I'm actually learning from Sensei. This is my Sensei. And also, Nakano is also learning beauty, Japanese flute. So, Miyashiro Sensei, please welcome Mr. Miyashiro. We have one more day. Okay. I'm very nervous.
Thank you, Bishop Ishikawa and Reverend Takano for joining me on the first line of the most famous Dagaku piece, Etenaku. And we don't have the entire ensemble here for obvious reasons, so maybe I'll hear what some of the other instruments sound like. So what you heard was, that's kind of small, hard to see. So this is the full ensemble here. We have, the first section we heard was the show. It has 17 pipes, ample pipes, and it kind of sounds like a synthesizer. It's the most fascinating instrument in the ensemble. So it starts out with the show, and this is, what it is, it's called netori. It's a tuning up piece. So instead of having the concert master come out with his violin and play B or E or whatever, this is how they kind of set the tuning. So it starts with the show, followed by the ichibiki, the reed instrument that I was playing, and then the ryuteki, the flutes that Reverend Takano and Ishikawa are playing. And then we have string instruments in the middle here. This is the biwa, kind of like a lute type guitar type instrument. Then you have the nakuso, which is the koto basically. And then you have the three percussion instruments here. The shoko, the small gong, the big taiko drum, and the taco. The side drum that this was rolling. So the show represents the light from the heavens that really almost sounds like an organ or synthesizer. Then the ichiki that I was playing represents the voice of the earth, the human voice, and the ryuteki that they were playing represents view is literally dragon, it's just a dragon fruit, and it's the dragon kind of in the sky in between the heaven and the earth. So yeah, this is very old music. Nobody can say for sure where the piece that we played came from, but it's called Eten Raku, and it's translated as music from the heavens. And it's the most famous karaku piece. Over hundreds of years, it has been so popular it influenced sacred hymns, such as Nori no Miyama, which we'll hear in a bit, as well as folk songs, Kuroda Bushi, famous drinking song, folk song, and it's often performed for celebrations such as weddings. And karaku literally, I don't know if you can see the two kanji characters, literally elegant and music. Yeah, so it's elegant music and has spiritual and ceremonial purposes, and is to be preserved by the imperial court as it was way back when, and it's also associated with Shinto shrines, but originally it was most common at Buddhist temples. And this temple here in particular, Todaiji in Nara, hope some of you have visited there. It's the one that has the deer park really close to it. And over 1,000 years ago, around the 8th century, there's the huge Buddha statue, if you've ever been in there. And I think it still is the largest wooden figure of the Buddha in existence. Anyway, when it was completed, they had a huge celebration. And musicians and dancers from the Asian mainland, China and Korea, and All right, and those were sort of the earliest records of this music being performed in Japan. So they have scroll paintings here that from that time, and it shows various instruments, the percussion, the hichiriki, the reed instrument that I was playing, and harp, which is not used now. There's the koto, yeah, and this is the sho, the one called the pipes. The shakuhachi was even part of this ensemble. As you can tell by the sound of the ryutekido, it kind of lost out because it's such a mellow sounding instrument compared to it. So that's one theory why they don't use the shakuhachi in Ghana anymore. And then here you have the ryuteki. And so this is the probably the most famous dance too. So with Garaku, you have what's called kangen, literally winds and strings. And that's the ensemble that you saw the picture of earlier. That's what we normally associate when people say Garaku and weird sound music. There could be like kangen instruments. But there's also vocal pieces where they just sing. And then also togaku, which is, this is an example of music and dance from China, Central Asia, and India. So the color red is emphasized. Yeah, this is the most famous piece of that particular genre. Nanyo, this is Miyajima in Hiroshima. I didn't think these words, by the way. And it's a military general who's wearing like a ferocious mask to kind of scare the enemy. It's a very popular piece. And then there's also Komagaku, which is music dance from Korea and Manchuria. So this is the most famous dance for that. And this is Nasori, which is depicts two dragons playing. So it's a very auspicious piece. And there's also Japanese style songs and dances from the ancient times, which are still performed in the Shinto shrines. But we do have it here. In fact, you have it in your green book, the Otsutome. If you take it out, take a look at page 131. You'll see this song here. Nori no Miyama. And Nori means Buddhist teachings, and Miyama is translated as the deep mountain. It's based on the melody of Etenaku that we performed earlier. And this is commonly performed as a Shinto style dance called Etenaku Imayo. And so they have the regular version, which sings about the seasons. There's a Shinto version called Toyosaka no Mai, same melody, just different words. And we, the Buddhists, have Nori no Miyama, exact same melody, just with Buddhist lyrics. Title roughly translates to In the Deep Mountains of the Dharma. And there are Buddhist lyrics which I could probably let the bishop and Reverend Takano explain someday. But anyhow, yeah, so let's try singing this.
フィルターとかつけれるよな。
So there's two verses. And oops. This is the starting picture. Okay. So you can sing along or please sing along actually. You don't want to make my voice too much. But please sing along, and if you don't get it during the first round, you'll get it on the second verse. Okay? Okay, so that was Nori no Miyama. The melody was basically what we had performed earlier, just kind of sped up and with words added to it. So hopefully you'll get another chance to sing this during one of the services. So this brings us to the Jodo connection. So I don't know how many of you remember Reverend Kosen. So thanks to him, well, that was the very first time I actually came to the Jodo mission. Reverend Kosen, when he was here, he used to practice with the Gaga group at UH. So one day the sensei, because the sensei lives out in Pro City side and I was living in town, he said, "Oh, Darren, can you deliver this to the Jodo mission for Reverend Kosen?" And I had no idea where this place was. So this was before Google Maps, so I had to look up the address and look for the King Temple, so I found it. Anyway, so yeah, that was thanks to Reverend Kosen, and then years later, Bishop Shiba invited me to teach Kopa here, so it's kind of nice to have that connection. And this temple here, Zendoji, is in Kyushu, in Kurume, and it's one of the main temples of the Jodo Shu, established around 800 years ago, quite a long time. Hopefully we'll get a more detailed explanation of this temple from Reverend Takano or Bishop Ishikawa. Maybe Reverend Takano because he's from Kyushu. Anyway, I did get to visit this temple back in 1997 or 1998, around there. And yeah, it's a very nice place. And the reason why I went was because you can see here, this is a granite sculpture, I guess, of a koto. Okay. So this temple, Zendoji, is sort of known as the birthplace of koto music. How did that happen? There was a priest, Kenjun, over 400 years ago, and he was a priest at this temple, studied Garaku, played koto, and he's known as, and when we study history of koto music, he's known as the founder of koto music. Unfortunately, none of the music that he either created or arranged exists anymore. So that's one of the unfortunate things. I'd like to find out more about it. So someday I'll go back to Zendoji and ask them if they have any notes for it. But we assumed that it was spiritual music, kind of like what I just performed, like Nori no Miyama. So it's spiritual lyrics and the koto is just accompaniment for the voice. And that's how it was actually for centuries. The voice was always the main thing. So this brings us to the koto itself. This is the kanji character for koto. There's bamboo on top. This is like to struggle. So, and I always feel like that. I'm struggling with the instrument. And anyway, this is where it came from. And there's confusion. Anybody from Japan? There's two characters that you can use for koto. This is the common one that everybody knows. They say koto, but it's actually a king. And it refers to this instrument from China. It has 7 strings and there's no bridges. You just slide your finger around and press it down at certain points. It's a really difficult instrument to play. This character here that you saw earlier is referring to this character. Can be read on soul. That's why for a Gagaku reason to differentiate it from regular koto, we call it Gagaku soul. Anyhow, so, and this is an instrument that the koto is closely related to. You can see all the bridges set up and multiple strings. It's called the jung in China. Has way more strings, has about 21 strings or so. Yeah. And this is the other cousin to the koto, the Korean kaya wood. You can see she has a bay across her lap. Yeah, it's much smaller and has 12 strings, one less string than the koto. But the way she's performing is very similar to the way it was performed. It was shown on the scroll that you saw earlier. So I'm guessing that musician came from Korea who brought the original koto. These are the three sort of different types. There's the bakso that I just mentioned, though that we use in gagak. It's very thick, gold-colored strings for, I guess, for the imperial, for royalty and all that. This is the ikuta koto, which developed from that, and is just as long, but uses thinner silk strings. And then you have the yamada, which is the most common one too. It's a little bit shorter. And yes, this is the most common type of koto that you'll see. This one they also use in Okinawan koto. You can see there's a single loop here. That's very common in Okinawan koto too. And these are the different picks that we use. This is what I would use for the bakso if I was playing it. It's a very wide band, a tiny bamboo tip. Then you have the ikuta style, which is what most people study. The majority of koto players is square like this. Then you have the yamada style, which is the rounded picks. This is what I used to play some of those the Shinto pieces. And then you have the Okinawan style, which is more like the natural figurative shape. Yeah? And so the koto is said to be in the shape of a dragon. I don't know if it took me a while to figure out how it worked, but this would be the head, this would be the tail, and the back, and then I guess the bridges kind of look like the spines on the back. Yeah, this is a famous, the last line of the master back in 1956 from and traditionally you would sit on your knees to play it. Thankfully we have stands and chairs now. Anyway, yeah, so according to legend, the koto is said to be in the shape of a dragon and the parts are named accordingly. So there we talk about the ryuto, the dragon's head, the ryuko, the dragon's back, the ryubi, dragon's tail, etc. It's made of kiri in Japanese, and it's a paulownia wood. It's very soft wood. It's hollow, and the strings are plugged with 3 tsume, or plectrum on your right hand. And the left hand creates different sounds by plucking or pressing on the strings behind the bridges. And 13 strings are stretched across the curved top, and each string is tuned by a movable bridge. So this person here, if you look it up on Wikipedia, they call him the father of modern koto. So this is over 300 years ago. This person, Yatsuhashi Kengyo. Kengyo is like a title, sort of like master. Yeah, so he's called the father of modern koto, but he's not technically he's not the founder. That credit would go to the Jodo priest Kenjin. And he was a blind shamisen player, and he learned koto. He wasn't supposed to because the koto was a sort of a high class instrument that you wouldn't teach to anybody lower class. Shamisen would be more like a folk instrument that anybody could play, even the blind musicians. So he made his living playing shamisen, but he got to learn the koto. And with that, yeah, it became popularized. So I guess thanks to him, I'm able to play koto. But anyhow, so we don't know if he composed anything, but we do know that he changed the tuning. So this is the same tuning that they would use in the gagaku and the court music. What they use what they call major or something, but So he changed the scale of the tuning. And this is the sound that people hear and immediately go, oh, Japanese music, right? So this is more of the what was being enjoyed by the common people. So simple change too. So I'm going to play a piece here called Rokudan. It used to be credited to him when I was studying Koto. We said he's the composer, but we're not sure now. So I noticed a lot of programs saying that the composer of Rokudan is just anonymous or unknown. But anyway, it's a rare instrumental piece, so no singing, which is very rare back in the day. Everything that's singing. So it's a piece in 6 sections. I'm not going to play all 6, but I'll play the beginning. It incorporates pretty much all of the basic traditional techniques. And you often hear this played in the background at like sushi restaurants. So anyway, Rokuda. That was the first section of Rokugan. So Yasushi Kendo changed the tuning, and then from this point on, yeah, it became a popular instrument. And this is during the Edo period, so about 300 years ago. And to this day, we study these classic pieces. Of course, there's a lot more modern pieces being composed nowadays. So what happened was that I don't know at what point the strings used to be made out of silk. Probably mid-20th century, they came out with synthetic material, and these strings now are made out of like a plastic called Tetra. And so this is the exact same tuning, just tuned much higher, not in a higher key. So this is sort of the standard tuning that we call Hira Joshi, which is credited to Yasushi Kendo. So because he used to play shamisen, it became associated with shamisen as well as shakuhachi. So this is the common trio that the koto performs with called the Sankyoku ensembles here. Koto, shamisen, shakuhachi. The main performer is actually not the koto player. It's actually the shamisen player because they're the only ones, well, not the only ones, but they're the ones that usually sing and play. So whenever you have someone singing, that becomes the focus. So this was the most common way of performing koto during the Edo period, and which we still study today as far as what's known as the koten or the classics. And So this is, you saw it earlier in that black and white photo. This is the famous Michio Miyagi. And he died in 1956. My sensei actually studied from him when she was a little girl. And then this is Tadao Sawai, my sensei's husband, who didn't get to study directly with Miyagi Michio, but he came from the same school that Miyagi Michio started. So stylistically, everyone is very connected here. So anyway, this is the last thing I'll play is 3 examples of famous melody. I don't think I need to introduce it. So this is the tuning that Yasuhashi Keiko introduced, and with this tuning, you can play classic pieces like Rokodan, you can also play melodies like, hope you recognize that, right? So So that's just the basic melody of Sakura. But every koto master, has apparently done their own sort of variations on it. So this is what Miyagi Michio, the blind master, did with the melody. And then we have Tadao Sawai. So Miyagi Michio stuck to the more classic style playing, but he actually introduced a lot of these, the left hand techniques and all that in his later compositions. And so Tadao Sawai took that and ran with it. So this is what you'll hear, koto style, modern koto style playing nowadays. So this is Tadao Sensei's sort of variation on something else. that I belong to. So yes, he does play guitar. Yes, he does have a purple koto that matches his guitar. But yeah, this is more, yeah, this is what he looks like when he performs koto. And that's his mother, Kazuya Sola, who's my sensei. And but he's also my sensei too, because he's going to school. Side note, Sophie we're going to go to Japan in a couple weeks. Sophie's going to be there, so I'm going to sign her up with the school, and she's going to get to take lessons from both of these senseis. So anyway, yeah, so at this flyer here, it's in the office. Yeah, so feel free to take one. I don't know how many copies they have down there, but this is for the Koto class. We'd love to have a Jodo Mission Koto group. Please, yeah, come and talk with me anytime, and feel free to visit the studio, which is right above the social hall. Also, it'd be nice to have a Dara class. So far, I only have two, Ishikawa and Reverend Takano, but please join us. The more the merrier. And yeah, I'd like to thank Reverend Kosen Ishikawa for bringing me here to the Jodo Mission, and Bishop Ishikawa for his continued support, and for his and Reverend Takano's interest in Gagaku. So my wish is to have Gagaku brought back to the temples, especially here, due to the strong connections with the Jodo Shu. So anyway, thank you all for your time. Mahalo. Arigatou gozaimashita. So yeah, I'll leave it to Bishop Ishikawa now to. Yes.
So, group Hiroshima.
Yes.
So that you said it seems very similar to what you just played in class. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. She did. Nice to meet you. Anyhow, yeah. So we'll get you started.
Yeah, right.
Okay, once again, thank you, Sensei. We have a honorarium from Jodo Mission. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, because it's a Children's Day, I would like to introduce my favorite toys. And this is have you ever seen this one? Do you know what it's called? It's called kendama. And a decade ago, in the state of Hawaii, this became popular. Everyone, all children, amazing. They had and they played everywhere. And because they were so in it, and the school prohibited to bring kendama to school. And ken means a sword, and then dama means a ball. It's a sword and ball. So we have, some kendama at the Ikoiko, I mean, social. Please play, I expected kind of, young children to play, but today, very old children here. So later, please enjoy. And second one is called koma. Have you ever seen koma? It's a top, and Japanese top, spinning top. And when I was young, computer, the video game was not, not yet. So I played a lot with this koma, the spinning top. And this is, I'm actually very good at actually. Can I try one more time? I'm supposed to be very good. So this is actually, I played a lot with this comma. And then this comma, I think Kendama was born in the Taisho period, probably 1918. So maybe you are familiar. And comma is a very old. But this Otedama, it's a azuki bean bowl back. And inside there are azuki beans covered by the Japanese kide clothes. And this is like a jelly. And this is a toy for ladies and girls. And they, while playing, singing songs, they actually play. So we have some, at the Ikoiko. Please touch and experience and enjoy these, koma, kendama, and otedama in Hungary. And this actually made my grandma. She actually used to play, gave me a lot this otedama. So anyway, thank you very much. And today we have Koinobori no Uta, the song of Koinobori. Let us sing together. Yame yori kakai koinobori, oki magori wa otosan, chisai igori wa kodomo tachi, omoshiroそうに泳いでる。屋根より高い鯉のぼり、大きい孫いはお父さん、小さい鯉は子供たち、面白そうに泳いでる。Okay, happy Children's Day. Thank you very much. And today, physical ladies made kashiwa mochi, kiri mochi, and somen salad. Thank you very much. And please join us at the social hall and to play toys and refreshment. And also, today I'm leaving for Japan. I wonder if anyone going to the airport, I would appreciate transportation. Around 12 noon, I'm leaving around 12 noon. So if you are going to the airport area, I appreciate your transportation because we're kind of busy today. So anyway, thank you very much. Please go to the social hall.